hosting a dinner party. Yeah, you've been thinking about it. Why not? I don't know, anything from a backyard barbecue to setting your dining room table. I have 5 top tips that are really going to help you, so stay tuned. Well, hello, it's Heidi and I am excited to talk to you today about hosting a dinner party. I know you want to do it right. It's just barbecue on the back deck, or pizza at the kitchen counter, or you're setting your dining room table for something a little more formal. I have 5 top tips for you. But first, I'd love it if you please like and subscribe to this video on my channel. I'd be so grateful. Okay, so number 1 tip, invitations. Okay, the invitations set the tone of the event. I'm gonna have everybody over tomorrow night for some hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. I can text you, give you a quick call, that's fine. Something a little more formal, I maybe send you an email. Maybe I'm just gonna even send you an invitation in the snail mail. You know, the invitation sets the tone, and you need to create a really interesting guest list. Yes, you want to make sure you're going to have some really interesting and lively conversation. People are going to get along. They're going to enjoy spending time together. So it's really important. Now, here is a top duty for you as a dinner party host. In the invitation, you need to ask, are there any dietary restrictions? For whatever reason, it's not your place to ask, well, why don't you eat meat? No. Just say, yeah, anything. No judgments. Maybe someone's a vegan, or they just don't eat pork, or whatever. Find out what any dietary restrictions or limitations are. That is your job as a dinner party host. Put that invitation. If they don't volunteer it, ask them when they RSVP. Okay, number 2, dinner party host rules. You need to make your guests feel welcome and comfortable when they arrive for your dinner party. Yes, when you greet them at the door, greet them warmly and sincerely. And let's just say they brought you a little gift, and they brought you a bottle of wine, and you're thinking, geez, isn't that about, $6 at Trader Joe's? Well, no, listen, judgment free, and maybe they're just not into wine, and you accept that bottle of wine like it was a Chateau Margaux. You say, oh, thank you so much. How very kind of you, and how thoughtful. And it was thoughtful. They were thinking. It's the thought, remember? Okay, thought that counts. Okay, so greet them warmly, make them feel welcome. Introduce everyone around. Perhaps everybody doesn't know everybody. So introduce everyone and mention some commonalities. Perhaps they do so-and-so, they share the same interests. Bring that up, help get the conversation started. Okay, so hosting duties number 3, the menu. You need to create a menu that is good for all the guests. Yes, now let's just say that you have one vegetarian and the rest are carnivores. And so everybody has a beef tenderloin, but your one vegetarian guest is sitting there with a little plate full of boiled pasta. That's not good. It's impolite to single out someone like that. That happened to a dear friend of mine, and I was always so embarrassed for the host when they would do something like that to her. No, create a menu that everyone can eat. If you have vegans and you have carnivores, make it all vegan. You can make some really great vegan meals, and the carnivores are going to enjoy it too. So experiment a little bit, but make sure no one feels singled out for any reason. Everyone feels, remember, number 2, comfortable. They're welcomed and comfortable. So the menu, be mindful of any allergies, all these restrictions. This is your job as the host. Okay, so now let's just talk about your next duty is to keep the conversation going. Yes, people are sitting down, they're eating, they're drinking, and the conversation is sort of stops. It kind of wanes, and it's awkward, that awkward silence. And it's your job as a host to bring up another topic that you think might get everybody talking, and keep getting people interacting. Maybe one person at the table just isn't talking much. Well, then just say, well, Debbie, I know that you really work hard for a certain charity, and did you know that Bob here, he also is involved with that charity? Bring them in the conversation. Okay, what if the conversation sort of goes awry? Oh, jeepers, they bring up, sex, drugs, rock and roll. I'm just kidding. They bring up, religion, all kinds of things, politics, hot button topics that you really didn't see happening at your dinner party. So you're the host, you have the lead, you can steer that conversation. So someone is ranting and raving about the latest political thing, and they completely, disagree, and then someone across the table thinks they are totally wrong when you could have a powder keg on your hands. Your turn to intervene as the host. Let them come up for air, and then you could say, oh, well, gosh, you guys, that's enough about that. Let's just talk about our vacations this summer. Did you know that Scott and I have booked a trip to Paris? Is anyone else traveling abroad this summer? Change the subject. It's your duty. Don't let someone derail your dinner party with really bad, offensive conversation. So keep it upbeat, keep it friendly. Yeah, and please keep it interesting. What's the best movie you've seen lately? What are you binge watching? What books have you read? Keep it interesting. That's your job. Okay, so number 5, as the host, you set the pace. You set the pace of the whole evening from when they arrive. Maybe there's a little cocktail hour, not too long. Within about 30 minutes or so of when people arrive, that's time to sit down, have a cocktail, and everyone get to know each other a little bit, and then sit down at the table and start the meal. You don't want people waiting or they're starving because they think, is this dinner ever going to start? Yeah, so don't let that linger. And then with the dinner, keep the courses coming at a relaxed pace, but yet they're still coming. You don't want there to be hours in between courses, so the pace, that's not an easy job, setting the right pace. So take a cue from your guests, see how things are going, but it is up to you as the host to set the pace. So how about at the end of the evening, it's your job is to sort of call it, okay, that's enough, folks, that's an Elmo, enough, let's move on. Okay, so we've all had a great evening, but it's getting late, and so if you watch my other videos, and please subscribe, I hope you've watched them, you know that when the host picks up their napkin and puts the napkin on the table, that signals it's over, folks, time to go home. So let's just say the host, as the host, this is your job, you do that, you put your napkin on the table, you know where that napkin goes to, right? To the left of where the plate was, where the forks were, to the left. That's where you place your napkin at the end of the meal. So let's just say some of your guests haven't watched my videos and they didn't get the signal, and they're talking, and it's up to you again to say, well, it's been a lovely evening. I'm so happy that you were able to come and we could spend some time together. And, maybe we can do this again soon. And that's kind of clear, like, okay, folks, time to clear out. Because you want to have a good time, but you don't want it to linger forever. Here's the goal. The goal for you as a dinner party host is for your guests to want to come back. They walk out that door going, wow, that was fun. I felt so welcome. And they had just the food that I like and that I eat. I met such interesting people. Well, great conversation. The food was delicious. The wine was fantastic. Everything was just perfect. Gosh, I hope they invite me back soon. So that is your goal. Okay, so now you have my top 5 and the goal, but I have a bonus for you. Here's my bonus. This is Heidi's philosophy on dinner party hosting. To be a good host, okay, to be a great host, you need to be very generous. Generous in spirit and generous in your food and drink. Be generous, be open arm, no judgment. Welcome your guests in. Entertain them, make them feel happy and comfortable and glad they're there. And have plenty of food that they can eat and have plenty of nice drinks. Maybe they don't drink alcohol. That's fine. Have a reasonable substitute for them. You need to be liberal in your pouring, but do not overserve your guests. That's tricky too. It's not easy. So you want to be generous, but don't overpour. When you see someone have a little bit too much, scale it back for the whole table. Okay, so this is probably getting to the end of the evening anyway. Okay, I hope this helps. Drop me a comment. Tell me about the dinner party you're going to host and let me know how it goes. These are good 5 tips. They're going to see you through anything from the backyard barbecue to the fancy dinner at your dining room table. Can't wait to hear all about it, everyone. Best of luck. And as I always say, everyone, please be kind. Thank you.